Hello, my name is Jonathan Jesse, Practice Principal for ITS Partners. I want to thank you for spending time watching this video today. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the hardware and software request workflows that ship with Asset Management 7.1. You may have watched an earlier video or two in regards to the procurement process in asset management done by my coworker Stu Harris. This video is going to provide a front end to that video series. Within the asset management system, there is a way to create purchase requests, but the purchase request process is quite manual. So what I have to do is I have to come to Manage, Assets, expand Procurement, and find Purchase Requests. And then right-click, select Create New Purchase Request, and fill out the different information, including line items from my catalog, a quantity, who's going to be the owner, purchase request details, a status, who's the requester, etc. All a very manual process. What I'm going to demonstrate is an automatic way of looking at it. The screen that you're looking at right now is the hardware request project, or one of the portions that makes up the hardware request process. This workflow is solving the problem of how do I request new hardware? The scenario that we're going to play out is that our manager, Robert Rabbit, who will be requesting a new piece of software for one of his direct managers. He's going to request a new laptop. So this process is going to work where Robert will submit that request. It will be routed to an approver based on his manager item. And then once that manager either approves or disapproves that purchase request, items will be acted on. So let's go ahead and flip over to my demo here. I'm going to access these demos through the Semantic Process Manager. So let me go ahead and log in. Oftentimes this will have Active Directory authentication set up. I just don't have it in my demo. Let's go ahead and log in. Hope I typed the password correctly. If this is the first time you've seen Process Manager comes with workflow, and it's a way of handling and responding to processes. I would like to go ahead and submit a request that's going to be a hardware request. So these are leveraging my workflow server. Give it just a second for this form to load correctly. If I do more and more of these hardware requests, this form will populate faster. So what you see is the hardware request form, and a couple of things I want to talk through this screen. We see that Mr. Rabbit is allowed to submit this hardware request for either himself or somebody else. We're reading the manager field and the association in the Altiris Configuration Management Database, the CMDB. Our location is populated from the CMDB as well. So I have the option to pull that location field on. So, and then also the approver, and I could use the recipient's approver as well. So let's go ahead. Mr. Rabbit here needs to request a piece of hardware for somebody else. And let's go ahead and search for the user. This is pulling the items from my CMDB. So the person that he needs to request for, first name Josh. Let's see if it searches that. Go ahead, and Josh Burnson is going to be requesting a new piece of hardware. Or Mr. Rabbit is going to be requesting a new piece of hardware for Josh Burnson. Let me make sure I get that done. Close this. And it's going to be in the Grand Rapids office. Let's go ahead and select Continue. What I'm looking at now is items that are set up in my catalog. I have three options here: either add an item from the catalog, add a bundle from the catalog, or request an item that is not in the catalog. Well, what is this catalog? If I flip back over to my CMDB, you'll see that I have catalogs set up. I have a fixed asset catalog, a consumable asset catalog, and I have different items. So let's go ahead and take a look at some catalog items. These consumable catalog is something that's not tracked as an individual item or individual asset. A fixed asset catalog would be something that is tracked, an example being an asset, computer or laptop or a switch or something like that. So I have some items put into my catalog. All right, flipping back to my workflow here, I'm going to go ahead and request 2 items here. I'm going to add an item from my catalog. So go ahead and click on Add Item from that catalog. I don't necessarily remember the name of it, but you can see that I do have my catalogs here. Let's just search all of my catalogs. And Mr. Burnson here is going to be getting a brand new Dell laptop. By the way, I just made up those prices. I don't know if that's correct or not. We need a quantity of 1, so I'm going to go ahead and add to my cart. Now let's also add a bundle from a catalog as well. We're going to add 2 items, and we'll show you through those. In asset management, we have the ability to set up a bundle. So let's go ahead and grab the Engineer Mac bundle, which provides us with 2 pieces of software and a laptop. The MacBook Pro, by the way, I've just made up those numbers once again. But this is a bundle, allows me to select multiple assets. Go ahead and add to my request. You see the 2 items, and there's a reason I put 2 different items here. Let's go ahead and click on Continue. Business justification, he is a new hire. He's not a new hire. Other, Josh needs a new laptop. His is making loud noises. And then also the date that I need that. Let's go ahead and just leave that as is. This date field will drive some items in the workflow. No big deal right now. Once again, I get to review things. I can either edit this or remove it. Once again, name, email coming from CMDB, Mr. Rabbit's manager, manager's email, and then the business justification. So if I submit that for approval, what's going to happen when I close this is that I am going to get an email here. Bob has a bunch of email in the system already. Let's go ahead and wait a couple of minutes. Okay, as you see, I have a new piece of hardware, and it says, Dear Robert Rabbit, your request for hardware has been approved. Thank you for using asset management from Semantic. I'm going to flip over to my workflow SMP box here, and we're going to work through that because I have multiple email accounts set up. Let's go ahead and get all of our email. First of all, my manager here, Wade Wyatt, he gets an email notification. And it states that he has a new hardware request. So let's go ahead and work that hardware request and take care of it. So please approve or deny the following items. A new instance of your web browser or a new tab will launch, and all of this information that you see here. My name, who is requesting it, my business justification, and the items that were selected, everything that flows through. What we're going to do is we're actually going to work this as a line item approval because I do have 2 different systems here. However, I could deny the request or approve the full request. So I'm going to go ahead and approve the MacBook bundle, and I'm going to deny the new laptop. You selected 2 laptops in the hardware request. Go ahead and submit that. And it states that I will be partially approved, submit, and it will prompt me to close that web browser item out. So let's go ahead and jump back to Mr. Rabbit's account. I know I'm switching windows a lot, but Bob should get an email soon, and he does. Dear Mr. Rabbit, some of your items have been denied. Please review your request. Let's go ahead and review our request. Here is my hardware request. Let's go ahead. I can either cancel the request, rework the request, or discard denied items. So this item was denied, my laptop. I'm just going to go ahead and discard that item, and it will close it out. And then I should get an email notification that everything has been approved. Your hardware request has been approved. Here is what you're getting. So now we've set this off to purchasing, and they can respond to the next steps in the process. Purchasing gets an email notification as well. Purchasing here. And now I have a task in Process Manager to work. At this point, when I create a purchase request, the purchase request is created for this device in the asset management system. And from there, I can go ahead and work on receiving the item. So let's go ahead and jump back into my purchase request. And you will see when I get this to load that my purchase request. And from there, I can work on receiving the items. And this will open my purchase request with the status of approval, creation date of 4/12. Let's go ahead and open that up. And you can see a couple of really cool things that we pull all the way in. We have my business justification pulls in. Josh Burnson automatically becomes the owner of these items. And when I receive them, they will automatically receive into Grand Rapids. The software purchase request reacts the same way. It generates a purchase request for a piece of software. Now, I don't know if Bob or Mr. Rabbit has been set up with a computer here. That's one item that we have to have working is ownership has to be set up in the CMDB correctly. And this person does not. So let's go ahead and log out here. I think I have an account here. So let's go ahead. Logging in as myself. See if I can type my password correctly. Software request. I think I have a computer assigned to myself. If not, we'll have to play. There you go. So, software request. Boy, this looks familiar. We're pulling in a request for myself. I'm the requester and the recipient, my email, my manager, and then the computer that I'm assigned to. This will then add my software from my catalog that we have set up. Let's go ahead and add in a new copy of Adobe Photoshop. Once again, made up prices. Go ahead and continue. Forgot a couple of items here. Working. By the way, under business justification, we can add different items there as well. Working on a project that requires, what am I purchasing? Photoshop. Everything's filled out correctly. Submit that for approval. And if we look at Mr. Rabbit here, he will get an email shortly. And our process looks very similar. Let's go ahead and log in. Maybe I can type his password correctly and then go ahead and approve that request. Well, I'd like to thank you for watching these videos on the hardware and software request. The goal here is to automate creating or the starting point of the purchasing system within Altiris. And it's also to show you the power of semantic workflow. Once again, it's using it for a hardware request or a software request to interact with data within my CMDB and within my asset management system. If you'd like to have a further conversation in regards to this product or process, I'd love to do so. Feel free to send me an email or give me a call here at the office. Thanks again and have a great day.